Hello, dear ones, and welcome to your 2023 energies of this year. Well, the energies of this year are, as I could sense them, I started to sense them since the month of November. Like usually every year I do, and they were rather tiring for me to start with. A lot of accident energy was there in the air. I could sense it. So this year we might see more of this accident energies. And as you all know that most of my predictions, what I make, the global predictions that I make is I just sit into meditation and I just close my eyes and I just, wait for whatever the downloads I get. It's like in mundane language you call it channeling a message, but for me it's really like something that I receive from above, and then I have to make sense of it all because it comes in different pictures. Sometimes it comes in the form of energy, in the form of feelings, in the form of something that happens to me myself also. That is what I always, this is how I deliver the prediction messages. And this time I could really feel that the energies were really tiring. Tiring to the point where I also had that feeling of tiredness for very long. Of course, tiredness is for everyone, but there is that tiredness which is our physical and mental tiredness, and there is this other tiredness which is the global energy tiredness that I could pick up from those vibes. And this tiredness was basically related to some kind of a fracture. So I would say there is a kind of a, we can expect for the first 5.5 months a kind of a fracture in our world, I would say. Some kind of painful situations also that are going to arise this year. And I almost see this energy of war again looming, but this time it's not going to be the energies leading the Russia-Ukraine war. Is now slowly is going to be, we are going to hear less of that, and we are going to hear more of the Middle East. We are going to hear more of the countries with the name starting with I, okay? This is what I see. The I is very important this year. The I is never important when it comes to us, because the I is the ego, also the I is the me, mine, okay? Somewhere this energy is going to play, but on a global platform this year, my dear ones. And I see the countries whose names are starting with I are going to have some kind of upheavals. These upheavals are going to be internal, and these upheavals are going to be external for them also. So if I have to explain to you in more details, the upheavals are about a warlike situation. This is what I see. In the Middle East, I see more the energies playing out this time. The Eastern countries also, I'm seeing that they are coming under the energies of war, and this is going to continue for another, I would say, 6 to 7 months. I see these energies playing out, especially they will start now on, I've already said from November I feel those energies, and you must be noticing these kind of energies are just playing out there, and these energies are going to escalate. So we, the normal people, are going to be a bit wondering, like, what are these people up to? I mean, inside of me, sometimes I really feel like telling the world leaders now, please, stop it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, and for what are you doing all this? Are you doing it really for the benefit of everyone, or are you doing it just to satisfy your egos? I mean, this question really persists inside of me to I would like to ask them all at once, like, what are you doing it for? Because normal people want to live in peace. Normal people want peace in their lives. We don't want wars, and we don't want ego satisfaction with wars, because wars is a lose-lose situation. They say there is not a winner in a war situation, but definitely everybody is a loser in a war. So that is what they have to understand, and that is what we have to understand also. If we encourage these kind of confrontations, we don't need them now. We absolutely don't need them. And so this is what I see, this energy that is playing up this year. Then I also see that there will be, of course, the markets are going to be very, very volatile this year. After the month of October, like mid-October, then things are going to start looking a little bit up when it comes to the economical front. This is what I see. Otherwise, there is going to be a lot of roller coaster rides. So people who are investors, just be careful. However, I see there will be a breather that is going to be given. And that is going to be in the month of, the fifth month is which one? The month of May and the month of June. These are the 2 months where we will feel like, wow, like more optimistic. We will start feeling more optimistic inside of us. We will start feeling a bit better inside of us. But at the same time, I would like to tell you is that avoid any kind of risky investments this year, okay? Don't go for any quick money schemes, because there you might lose your money, or somebody might trick you, or there can be some kind of negative impacts. So just be careful about that. Then I also see this year is going to be something regarding women and children again. And as I had told you last year also in 2022, the energies have played up when I told you about children, something related to medicines and all that happened. And I told you something related to women also. So that also happened, and we are still seeing it being played up. And this is what is playing up. And this is going to play out again in this year. And I see some kind of a major happening because of that, almost leading to some kind of shake up of religious beliefs. This is what I see. Some kind of religious beliefs are going to shake up in people. People are going to start questioning their belief system this year. And I almost see some kind of religious wars starting at this point of time. When I say religious war, it has nothing to do with God. Okay, we feel that, oh, religious means God, but it is nothing to do with God. Religion for me is a direct connection to the divine. Over here, whatever is playing out on this earth right now in the name of religion, religious, oh, we are religious, this one is not religious, this one doesn't believe in God, all those kind of frills and so those kind of things basically have nothing to do with God. This is all again man-made institutions in order to control people, and these things somehow are going to get shaken up now. These things are somehow going to the younger generations basically are going to start acting in a way that is going to help people to understand basically what is all this happening, and how we all are taken into a big game of manipulation. The manipulation is not going to be just on the religious front. The manipulation is going to be on health front. The manipulation is going to be on showing us that look, this is something which needs to be seen, but in the background there is going to be a lot of other things which are more chaotic than what is being shown to us. This is going to be just a diversion. We are going to be diverted from the important topic, so we need to be alert about it, my dear ones. All right. Then I also see regarding crime rates also, I see that the crime rates are going to be on a very high rise. And I was feeling that why should the crime rates start becoming higher and higher now? Why do I feel that way? Why is that message coming in? Well, the thing, my dear ones, is that when does crime start becoming more and more? When there is poverty, okay? Because poverty is the mother of crime, right? And why is there poverty also? Then we have to start going deeper and deeper towards the roots. What caused it? Then you go deeper and deeper. Then joblessness is there. Then we have family backgrounds that are not fine. Okay, so all these things are going to contribute, and these are contributing to something that leads to this kind of a chaotic state. So crimes are going to be higher and higher because our younger generations are going to need more and more spiritual, I'm not saying religious, but I'm saying spiritual backing they are going to need. They are going to need a particular path of peace because they are not at peace. They are our tomorrow and we are ruining our tomorrow. If I may say with a lot of heaviness on my heart, I would like to say that we are ruining our tomorrow by just showing them the samples of whatever is happening around us today. One thing also that I see this year is that I'm going to tell you all the bad things before, and I'm reserving the good for the last, okay? So bear with me, please. One thing also I see is that this year is also going to be a year of separations. And when I say separations, it means the separations that are between two individuals, marriage, partnerships, okay? These are going to be the separations. The separations also when it comes to people from their country. So immigration is also taking place. There is immigration energy very, very high this year also. So there is a kind of a like people fleeing from their base, their secured homes, their nations also. This is what I see. And I see more of this coming this year, okay? Some kind of an incident can take place which will set people to leave their base and to go to some other place. This is what I see. So there is this kind of a separation energy also is saying separation from your motherland to go to some other place. For those people who are trying for immigration, migration, whatever, this year will help you more to achieve that. You will have more chances of realizing your dream to move to a new country. Those people who are in a very toxic relationship, those people who were just making sacrifices just in order to sustain a marriage, sustain a couple, they will finally decide that now we have to move out from each other's lives and give space to breathe to each other also, okay? I also see this year as the year of spirituality. Once again, not religious, but spirituality. If you are wanting to achieve your spiritual growth, my dear ones, then this is the best year to do so. This is the best year to go into some deep study of spirituality or to understand that finally religion is just a drop and spirituality is the ocean, the sea. This is what is spirituality, while religion is just a drop in it. And until and unless we don't understand all the religions of the world, how they operate, what is the message of them, holistic approach, if we don't take, until then we are not going to find peace on this earth. And this year, for those people who are striving to attain the spiritual level, the depth of those levels, then you will find ways to attain them through your meditations, through your connection to the Mother Nature, to the connection to the Mother Earth, by just looking around you. You're going to understand that finally this is not where we want to go. the way is inside, the way is not outside, the way is going to be deep inside of us this year. And I would like to tell you, my dear ones, even if you are not very much of a seeker, whatever it is, there will be compelling situations and events that will compel you in order to question yourself inside of you. It's like, is this my path? There is something that I need to seek, and that something is not outside. I can't go to places and say, okay, I'm seeking here. Definitely there are high energy fields, levels, in some places where we go and worship, but definitely that all that divine energy is inside. And those people who would like to dive in to that supreme force that resides within, this will be the best year for that. I also see that this year will be very good for the people in communication field, the people in research, the people archaeologically also is going to be really, really good, because they're going to find some very, very important things. Even astronomers also, I see whatever was hidden. So this year the hidden things will start getting exposed, especially in the first half of the year. I see some kind of scandals coming up. There will be scandals. These scandals can be related to the Department of Finance, the Department of Health. Okay, these are the two things that are quite, playing out over here. And in this year, there will be a lot of things that will be revealed to us. There will be the hidden things that will be revealed to us. I also see unnatural deaths of some important people. And when we say unnatural deaths, well, I don't need to give you more, clues. You are wise enough to understand how these can be caused also, okay? And I also see two leaders, eminent leaders also, who are going to be in real trouble this year. These two leaders are from very great nations, and these two leaders are going to have tough time, I would say, very, very tough time. One of them has something related to the health that can happen to him, and the other one is going to be because of his own people. And so there is really an energy of revolt, of revolution also, that is coming in this year. And I also see people's power is rising. At the same time, the controlling forces are rising. So you can imagine, it is two forces. One wants to dominate and one wants freedom. When these forces come face to face with each other, what starts happening, my dear ones? A kind of a big revolution. Structures falling and new structures rising, new reforms being made, and new reforms being thwarted, being scattered, thrown away by majority of the people. I also see there is one important thing that is going to happen also, and this is related to the health sector, something very, very important. I also see some kind of a medicine coming in for some very difficult, the kind of a disease that could not be treated in the past. So medicine is going to come, and more people will be healed by this. So this is something really, really nice and heartening, because it will increase the life expectancy of people also. And not just that, but I also see that the people, the children who were struggling, all age groups that were struggling with certain diseases, are now going to find that cure. And this is going to be a really, really happy news for those of the people who are struggling with these kind of disorders that we will see. I really see something beautiful happening in the health sector in terms of healing of the age-old diseases that were genetic, that were caused because of stress also. Okay, because after all, every disease is related to some kind of energy blockages that are caused. And of course, heredity also plays an important role. I will not get into that, because then I have a lot of different views about that, and that will take me hours to explain. my point of view. And I am seeing that also happening this year. This year, we will need to be very, very careful when it comes to toxic air, gases, explosions, okay? This needs to be taken care of. In the first half of the year, once again, I see these energies, some kind of poisonous gases, or because of some explosion, some kind of particles in the air, okay? So this is what I see this year also. So we need to be careful regarding those also. Of course, once we know, we will be able to take care of that. And by that time, I hope we will find ways in order to avoid these things that are lined up for this year. Health wise, until the month of May, we need to be careful regarding the virus. Later on, it will subside. I don't see too much of like a big chaos that had taken place in the past. I don't see that happening. Okay, I see that people will, come out of it easily. Only there will be some 2 to 3 countries that will be impacted. As I said, the I see a lot this year, so we need to be careful. The countries starting with I, you need to be careful, very careful, all right, regarding the pandemic, all right. And we all basically need to take care of others, I would say. When you wear a mask or when you're disinfecting your hands, it's not that, of course, you're protecting yourself, but I do it more for others also, because I am surrounded by my neighbors who are very old people, and I happen to exchange sometimes. I go to speak with them, or things like that. Even if they don't wear a mask, I make it a point that I have to do that, because I don't want to contaminate them. They are really old people in their late 80s, and also, you feel it becomes our moral responsibility to take care of others also. And if we can just, protect ourselves, in the crowded places, even we can prevent our normal colds and, those sinus and all. Also, if we are just, covered in the cold, when you cover your sinuses, it's really good. You cover and you protect yourself. So this is our responsibility. We cannot leave everything in the hands of the government, and then they say the government didn't deal with it well. It is our responsibility also. We need to be proactive, and we have to do our bit, okay? And let the government do their bit, all right? But we have to take our responsibilities in our own hands, and our health is our own responsibility, my dear ones. Then what do I see more? Oh yes, the climate, of course. The climate is, I'm feeling that we better wake up. I mean, this is the last wake up call. As I had said last year on my Facebook, I said this is going to be the last wake up call, because after there is just chaos and chaos regarding the natural disasters that is going to happen. I mean, when you don't respect the mother nature is not going to respect you either. It's a two-way process, and we have gone really very far in the way we have abused her in all the ways possible, in the name of modernization, in the name of looking for minerals, and now we are also disturbing the sea. So in all the ways possible, instead of going to different planets, let's take care of this planet first. That will be much better for us, and let's spend some more money over here instead of spending millions and billions to discover what is on the other planets. Yes, that is on the side, but right now where we are living, we have to take care of our house rather than going and exploring some other houses somewhere else. And let us do it right now, because it's really going to get more and more chaotic. Some of the countries are going to be wiped away from the map of this world. Let me tell you that, and we are very close to it, and we are going to see it this year, my dear ones. So whatever we can do to extend our support to people who are protecting the nature, let's do it. Let's do it, my dear ones, because I see there are going to be some kind of storms and earthquakes which are of real high magnitude that are going to take place this year. And every year we are taught some lessons, but every year we neglect. And a point is going to come, my dear ones, when we won't be able to neglect anything. And I feel that we are almost there now. All right, so we need to be very, very careful. I also see some kind of scandals related to children and women that are going to get exposed this year. These scandals are of high importance. These scandals are related to some important people who have subjected innocent children and helpless women to some kind of a physical abuse. This is what I see. So some of these stories are also going to come this year. This is what I see, my dear ones. Related to our economy, I say that there is going to be this upheaval and a roller coaster, like big ups and sudden crashes also that are seen this year that are going to take place. And I see some, as I told you, some kind of reforms also coming in, and these reforms are not going to be accepted very easily by the people of this world. We will see it. And I see this year almost the year of two forces acting against each other. The one force over here is those people in the power who want to create some kind of, changes. And the other side is the force of the people, the force of the masses that won't allow them to implement certain things very, very easily. So these are the two forces that are going to play out, my dear ones. And I almost see that this is not going to create any peace, okay? There is just a kind of I would not use a bad word for that or a negative word, but I would say this year is not going to be very, very peaceful year, all right? And this is why as the energies are going to bring about restlessness outside, this is the number 7 year, so the number 7 is that of the Ketu, and the Ketu is all about going deep inside of you, is all about going towards the spiritual growth. It's happening, all this is happening for a reason. So we can't say why this is happening, why this and why that. Well, I have to tell you that after the year 2019, everything has changed, and it is going to keep on changing. And each year is going to be a new challenge to meet, okay? I love challenges because challenges really bring about the strength inside of us. Of course, sometimes it's very, very tiring also because, we have our capacity of bearing also. But then, you know what? This is how we understand what is really important for us. And this is what we are going to understand, my dear ones, this year, of how we have been unwise in choosing things for ourselves, how we have not been very wise in the path that we choose. We are running behind something, but when the main thing that is missing and the most expensive thing is peace. And what are we doing to achieve that? Are we going to get it by, all that is happening in the world? I don't even want to list those things. I don't want to sound very sarcastic over here. But at the same time, are we going to achieve peace through unpeaceful ways? We can achieve peace only through love and forgiveness. And this is what we will have to practice this year. And we are going to realize this year is that these are very, very important things. And with revenge, with hatred, we are not going to achieve anything. In fact, we are going to destroy whatever is left. And who said that spirituality was something very easy to achieve? No, it's not very easy to achieve. You have to go. You have to go through lots and lots of pain. You have to go through lots of losses, material losses, losses on a personal level, losses of everything that you liked and you loved. You have to go through that. And only then you can achieve spirituality. And this cycle has begun in the year 2019. And now we are going more and more, each step ahead as each year passes. So, this is where we have to learn that one thing that is going to be the most expensive thing this year is peace, and we need to achieve it by forgiveness, by compassion, by love. Otherwise, we are not going to make it any good. We can't say this year is bad or that year is bad. It's not about the year, it's about we as a human society, human community. What are we doing to this year? What are we doing to it? How are we putting our energies into it? If I'm working towards my own betterment in a spiritual way, I'm emitting spiritual energy. If each of us is going to emit a kind of a spiritual energy, only then can we emit all this beautiful spiritual energy throughout the world, and only then we can achieve something good. But if each of us is also going on a path of destruction and saying this is not good, that is not good, oh the year was not good, oh the government doesn't take care, oh this, oh that, it's, we don't have to see what others have to do. We just have to see what we have to do right now. And I would say, as the number 7 numerologically, also you can see my numerology series and the number 7, how they are. If we adopt these qualities of number 7, where we are in ourselves, where we are searching within ourselves, we are becoming spiritual inside of us, only then I can tell you, my dear ones, that we can bring about a wonderful energy to this year. It's, I would say, each year is a beautiful year, wars or no wars. It's a beautiful year. The year comes with a lot of hope. And then the hopelessness is shown by the ego of the people who want to destroy this beauty. So we cannot go hand in hand with destruction and expect peace out of it. We cannot do that. So we need to understand that, my dear ones. And as I said, as each year passes now on until 2030, we are going to be met with different challenges. And these challenges are not just going to be limited only to, a particular country or things. This is going to be global challenges we have to meet. This year, like I would also like to add, which I didn't want to say all this, but I will add once again in order to show you how we are all going to be impacted in the same way, is that we are going to have a lot of scarcity of a lot of things. Okay, some countries are going to be really, really hungry this year. Especially, I see some kind of, they were supposed to, get some food from somewhere, which they are not getting, grains from somewhere that they will not get. The cattle are dying, the people are dying just because they don't have food. This is happening. There is scarcity regarding food, there is scarcity regarding water, there is scarcity regarding raw material. Because when my hands started giving all this pain, I said, why my hands? I never had this problem. Of course I have. I mean, sometimes, you lift heavy things, you get those, pains and all. But for so long and in this way, and not, the medicine was not really acting upon it also. And then after some time, I knew that this was a message that was coming. The hands, what do the hands do? What do? They produce things. Okay, so production of important commodities and things, manufacturing of that is going to be hampered in a big way. And because of that, many countries are going to face lot of problems because of these scarcities, because of some production issues, manufacturing issues, as if we needed some kind of raw material and we are not getting it in our factories. And because of that, things are slowing down, things are going to get affected by all of this. So we need to see all this, my dear ones, is that All these things are once again telling us that we are a part of the whole. We are not an individual, just like, okay, me, mine, I'm fine. I have food to eat, I have water to drink. Yes, today I have, tomorrow I won't, most probably. So, what is it all telling us? That we are a big family, and if one member of a family or one family member and his family is not fine, we all are going to be impacted also in some way or another. So, our work is just to pray for peace this year, because the war energy is going to be pretty high. And as I told you, in which regions I see this as very, very high war energy over here, and we don't want to add to it by again getting gods and god into it. We don't want to do it, because this is also coming in. We don't want to do that, because already there is a lot of loss energy, and we want only one thing, my dear ones, is that we have to rise our energy levels now. We have to get over a lot of attachment to things. We have to get over that comfort zone now on, because we might face some kind of scarcities this year onwards, and these scarcities are going to be something important also. So right now, if we start being more, not extravagant, I would say, we will be able to manage it very well. Because if we are self sufficient, whatever we have, we are managing in that, then we can, help the people of different countries who are not going to get even those things to eat in their plates, okay? And we can help the animals and the kettles also. This is what I can tell you, my dear ones. And let's pray for the animals, please, because that is really heartbreaking what I saw for the wild animals and the kettles. They are not fine. This is what I saw this year. And it's once again, it's the human ego which is again playing. All this is, we have created it, so we are paying for it. It's our karma. We have created these karmic debts. I cannot say, oh no, I'm also involved. We all are involved in that. I cannot blame somebody else. I'm also equally responsible. Each of us is equally responsible for what we all are facing today. Nobody can put us into something if we don't want it, okay? So here we have to pray for all those innocent animals and the mother nature, so that she cools down, because there are two big events that are going to happen this year, that are going to be lots of material loss and human loss also that will take place. And I see that around July to October, between those months, this is going to happen. And yes, be careful when you travel this year. Say your prayers, and and take all your papers and everything properly. And yes, in the first 4 to 5 months, I would like to tell you is that please protect others by putting a mask upon yourself if that is the requirement of that place. And yes, take good care of your immune system, because immunity is not about physical immunity only. It is all about your mental immunity also. It is all about your spiritual immunity also. So this year is the year where we have to work on our spiritual and our mental immunity. Excuse me, but this time I wanted to just let this prediction video be more informal types, as if I'm just, that you are sitting in front of me and I'm speaking to you all, and just in an informal way, not like those chuck points. I didn't want it to be like this. Just wanted it to be just like I'm speaking to each of you individually, as if you're just sitting here right in front of me. We are having a nice cup of tea and a coffee if you prefer. I don't drink coffee. Or yes, coconut water. I love that. And and so I just made it like that. So I really wish for all of us that this year is the year of a spiritual awakening, where each of us realizes our responsibility and doesn't depend upon our authorities to provide us all that, but work on our individual levels to make this world a better place. And I really feel we can achieve it. Just that an individual will has to be there. And when there is a will, we will, isn't it? So thank you very much for listening. And I shall see you next time. Until then, take good care of yourself. Bye bye. God bless. Bye.